But that lady, that new press secretary, she's
that video, dude.
She's a gangster. They're prepared. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated.
She came in there with that Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Oh, it finally happened. Karoline Leavitt, a rising political force, an unreserved champion of free speech, has filed a $500 million defamation lawsuit against a View talk show hosts clutching their pearls, as it were a fire drill, as Chardonnay tasting, yep, $500 million. When you come after someone's character with megaphone, don't act surprised when they respond with megaton.
This young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah. She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
You know that.
Whatever you want to say about Karoline, she is not backing down from the media machine. She has criticized a show that is now more about synchronized outrage and discussion. And let's face it, if you even take criticism for simply supporting Trump or having a political spine, you might as well collect names and receipts. That's exactly what she is doing.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right.
Joe Rogan, a bald internet cultural commentator with a black belt in common sense, has stepped and he saw the media circus start to form and didn't miss a beat with his podcast kingdom, where nuance is important actually still exists. Rogan sized up the situation and saw for what was another attempt by legacy media to smear anyone who dares to think outside their echo chain.
Lady, that new press secretary, she's
that video, dude.
She's a gangster. You seen that video?
You've never seen someone more prepared for a question in your life, dude.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, small point on that, not the big point, but small point. She was so prepared.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, she's supposed to be prepared.
That's why I said you've never seen someone more prepared.
They're
Ratings need drama, while the ladies of The View clutch their mugs and toss around labels like dangerous with all the intellectual rigor of a BuzzFeed. Quiz Rogan cut to the noise. He didn't need a panel. He just needed to mic some sanity. And maybe a side of Elchiki's take refreshingly blunt, the lawsuit wasn't weakness. It was pushback. It was about drawing a line in the sand and saying, no, you don't get to casually destroy reputations just because your ratings need drama.
I've heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill. I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're...
Let's take a closer look at the exact circumstances that led to the segment in which The View's resident sages Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and whoever was promoted to guest host casually smeared Leavitt over her political affiliations and experience, which were not challenged, questioned, or smeared. This was a kind of casual defamation that was disguised as commentary for Coffee Table that gets a free pass because it comes with laughter and a live audience, and Joy Behar, who never misses. An opportunity to mistake loudness for accuracy, called Karoline dangerous. Karoline is dangerous because she has a coherent worldview and the courage to share of having strong principles, is now a threat. Then people are officially considered dangerous who hooped and read the Constitution. She responded with her trademark combination of self-satisfied detachedness and hazy spiritual wisdom, which always sounds like it was written in a Whole Foods parking lot. She is an expert at saying everything and nothing at once. In the meantime, Sunny Host dusted off her law degree for just long enough to misapply, like a BuzzFeed intern searching for laws for beginners on Google.
Joy Behar went after Joe Rogan on The View, and he fired back spectacularly.
You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is And Joe Rogan believes in drugs.
That's where Karoline said enough she didn't complain, back pedophile, or back down instead. She stood her ground. Joe Rogan saw The View as a cultural moment because of someone finally fighting back against media elites who mistake their platform for a moral compass. Exactly what is a bachelorette party bad opinions. And worse facts, this is a show where logic goes to be waterboarded by half-read Twitter threads. Watching A View try to unpack politics is like watching toddlers try to solve Middle East peace using crayons and juice boxes.
Here. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated.
She came in there with that fucking Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Meanwhile, while Karoline's legal team was probably formatting lawsuits and comics, Sanchez Joe Rogan was howling with laughter, likely knocking over a kettlebell or two. He framed the whole circus as performance art Shakespeare in a courtroom with less talent. And more hashtags, he openly praised Karoline for punching back against The View's hate parade. Sure, she's made a career out of dunking on a woke mob. But this wasn't hypocrisy, this was strategy. If The View can dish it, they should learn to take it.
People, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record. Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings and everybody on our team, by the way, who goes out.
Rogan rose to his feet and exclaimed, "Good honor." Naturally, he then went bonkers on a television because, of course, he did, according to Rogan in this show, is what happens when daytime meets nighttime TV collides with menopause convention. And no one brings facts. He skewer their entire tick loud enough cry victim, then pretend like they're brave for surviving their own echo chamber. They're like, if mean girls grew up got talk shows and forgot to evolve.
Strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny's very intelligent, which is ideologically captured.
Right.
So I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones I don't have to name any names, are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them.
From Dennis, anyone who walks by wearing a red hat to View has declared war on anyone who doesn't drink progressive brunch mimosa. If Joy doesn't agree with you, you're either evil brainwashed or about to be canceled before the next ad break, crying into a Senate candle and pleading for federal charges. But Rogan is the anti-View. He invites Alex Jones and Bernie Sanders to a barbecue together, then calmly eats elk jerky while everyone else debates the truth. He is the adult in the room, even though he is wearing camouflage and talking about space apes. When he saw Karoline suit a View, he didn't flinch, he laughed, and then clapped because he knew what everyone else knew deep down. It was time for someone to rein in those women. Let's not pretend that The View is PBS. This is not journalism. It's political improv with no script, and even less logic, like Judge Judy with hot flashes when someone with different opinions shows up Karoline. When on The View, knowing she would be met with condescension, she flipped the script and turned their gotcha moment into a courtroom drama. Suing them wasn't a meltdown. It was a very profitable move, and snark disguised as questions.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. So when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But it's checked by everybody. Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
You've been legal?
We went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons. Did you triple force that?
Joe Rogan got the lawsuit wasn't about setting a precedent. Rather, it was about Karoline Leavitt dominating headlines like it was a cage match. And she just walked in with brass knuckles made of subpoenas. Rogan not only understood that play, but he respected it because he had seen The View pull the same trick for years from behind a velvet rope of opinion. Then ducked to cover the moment. Anyone swings back with something stronger than a tweet, they scream misogyny. If you criticize them, censorship. If you don't clap in bravery, if one of them manages to quote a Wikipedia page without blinking. But when Karoline clapped back, not with sass, not with a tweet, but when Lloyd appeared as though Karoline had walked into the studio wielding the Constitution like a lion, as the audience collectively reached with the smelling salts like Southern belles at a truth convention, in his view, if the viewers can spend every morning treating dissent like personal insults and turning minor disagreements into DEFCON 1, Drama, they don't get to whimper when the drama circles back like a boomerang of karma. Well, so Rogan laughed and endorsed the chaos.
This show that people love.
Yes, true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.